There is a fundamental truth that separates those who accumulate lasting wealth from those who simply dream about it. It is not luck, it is not inheritance, it is not even raw intelligence. The wealthy have discovered something far more powerful than any of those things. They have discovered the extraordinary force of daily habits. Jim Rohn, one of the greatest philosophers of personal development and financial success, spent decades studying what makes certain individuals rise to extraordinary heights while others remain stuck in mediocrity. His conclusion was both simple and profound. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every single day. And failure is simply a few errors in judgment repeated every single day. The gap between the wealthy and everyone else is not measured in talent or opportunity. It is measured in the consistency of choices made when no one is watching, when motivation fades, and when the path forward feels uncertain. One of the most powerful habits that wealthy individuals share is an unrelenting commitment to learning. Jim Rohn famously said that formal education will make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune. The wealthy do not stop learning when they leave school. They treat every book, every conversation, every experience as a classroom. They read voraciously, not just for entertainment, but for transformation. They study the lives of those who came before them, extracting lessons from both triumphs and failures. They attend seminars, seek mentors, and invest in their own minds with the same seriousness they invest in their financial portfolios. Consider this. If you read one book per month on wealth, business, or personal development, you would complete 12 books per year. Over a decade, that is 120 books. The knowledge accumulated from that kind of consistent effort is staggering. Most people underestimate the compounding power of learning, just as they underestimate the compounding power of money. The wealthy understand that the mind is the most valuable asset they will ever own, and they protect and develop it accordingly. Wealthy individuals do not simply earn money, they understand it. They track it, study it, and make deliberate decisions about where every dollar goes. Jim Rohn taught a principle that changed countless lives. Never spend more than 70 cents of every dollar you earn. He recommended allocating 10 cents to savings, 10 cents to investments, and 10 cents to giving. This simple framework creates a structure that forces financial awareness and intentional living. The average person spends first and saves what is left, which is usually nothing. The wealthy save first and spend what remains. This reversal of habit seems small, but over time it creates an enormous difference in financial outcomes. Wealthy individuals also understand the difference between assets and liabilities. They consistently acquire things that put money into their pockets and avoid things that drain it. They study tax strategies, understand how interest works in their favor, and never allow money to sit idle when it could be working for them. Financial awareness is not about being obsessed with money. It is about respecting it enough to manage it wisely. Ask any wealthy person about their goals, and they will tell you exactly what they are working toward, often down to the finest detail. Jim Rohn believed that the major reason so many people fail to achieve wealth is simply that they never clearly define what they want. A goal that is not written down is merely a wish. The wealthy write their goals down. They revisit them daily. They build plans around them and measure their progress consistently. This practice of goal setting creates a mental clarity that guides every decision. When you know precisely where you are going, every choice becomes easier because you can ask yourself whether it moves you closer to or further from your destination. Vision is equally important. The wealthy do not just set goals for the next month or year. They build a compelling picture of the life they are creating over the next 5, 10, and 20 years. This long-term vision acts as a compass, keeping them on course even when short-term circumstances become difficult or discouraging. They understand that temporary setbacks are simply part of the journey, not the end of it. Knowledge without action is worthless. The wealthy understand this deeply. They are not paralyzed by the fear of failure or the pursuit of perfect conditions. They take decisive action, often before they feel completely ready. Jim Rohn taught that the most successful people in the world are not necessarily the most talented, they are the most consistent. They show up every single day and do the work, even when results are not immediately visible. This willingness to act in the face of uncertainty is what separates those who build wealth from those who merely talk about it. The wealthy also understand the value of momentum. Once they begin moving in a direction, they maintain that movement with relentless consistency. They know that starting is often the hardest part, and that once action is taken, clarity and confidence follow naturally. They do not wait for motivation to strike. They create motivation through action. Every step forward, no matter how small, builds the confidence and energy needed to take the next step. Jim Rohn made one of the most quoted observations in personal development history when he said that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. The wealthy take this principle seriously. They are intentional about their relationships, choosing to surround themselves with people who challenge them, inspire them, and hold them to higher standards. They seek out mentors who have already achieved what they are working toward. They build networks of like-minded individuals who share their values and ambitions. They understand that negative influences, even from well-meaning friends and family, can quietly erode their progress. This does not mean the wealthy are cold or dismissive of others. It means they are protective of their mindset and their energy. They know that conversations, attitudes, and beliefs are contagious, and they choose to be infected by excellence rather than mediocrity. The right relationships accelerate growth in ways that no amount of individual effort can fully replicate. Perhaps the most counterintuitive habit of the wealthy is their relationship with giving. Many people believe that wealth is accumulated by holding tightly to what you have. The truly wealthy understand the opposite. Giving creates a mindset of abundance, and abundance attracts more abundance. Jim Rohn consistently emphasized that the act of giving, whether of time, money, or knowledge, is one of the most powerful forces available to anyone seeking lasting success. Gratitude works in a similar way. The wealthy begin and end their days with an awareness of what they already have. This practice of gratitude prevents the destructive habit of always chasing the next thing without appreciating the present. It creates a sense of fulfillment that fuels continued effort rather than desperate striving. When you are grateful for what you have, you approach your goals from a place of strength rather than scarcity. The wealthy have learned that success is not just about accumulating wealth, it is about becoming the kind of person who deserves it and can sustain it. Every habit discussed here is not just a strategy for financial gain. It is a blueprint for becoming more disciplined, more aware, more intentional, and ultimately more fulfilled. The path to lasting riches begins not in the bank account, but in the daily choices made long before the results become visible.